Right. So as part of today's session, we're going to start Java programming. So in the today's session, we will see what is Java and some basics like what is object-oriented programming, and then we will see how we can install Eclipse and Java, and we will set up the environment, and then we will start. Okay. So that is the agenda for today's session. So the first thing, what is Java? And if you have any queries, I use chat box. At the end of the session, I can unmute and I can ask all the questions. Okay. So first, let us start with what is Java. So Java is basically called as object-oriented programming language. Object-oriented programming language. So this is the definition. So what is Java? Java is a object-oriented programming language. So what is object-oriented programming language? Normally, there are three kinds of programming languages which we have in the market. One is structured oriented programming languages, object-based programming languages, object-oriented programming languages. These are the three categories of languages which we have in market. So let me just put here. There are three kinds of programming languages: structured, object-based, object-oriented. So structured programming languages, example, C and Python. So these languages support structure-oriented programming, and VB script Python will support object-based programming languages. Like Python will also support everything like structured, object-based, object-oriented, everything. And when you come to object-oriented, C++, Java, C#, and Python. So these are the examples of object-oriented programming language. But on what basis we will divide like this: structured, object-based, object-oriented. So for example, when I say a language is object-oriented programming language, on what basis we can say a language is object-oriented? On what basis we can say a programming language is object-based and structure-based? So if any programming language support object-oriented programming concepts, there are certain number of concepts are there, and if any programming language will support those concepts, we call them as an object-oriented programming language. For example, let us say I have 6 different concepts. We call them as a object-oriented programming concepts. In shortcut, we can call them as a OOPS, object-oriented programming system concepts: class, object, polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction, and encapsulation. So these 6 concepts are called object-oriented programming concepts, right? So if any programming language supports all these features, all 6 features: class, object, polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation, everything, then we can call them as object-oriented programming languages. So those languages will support all these object-oriented programming concepts, and they call them as a object-oriented programming languages. So Java will support all these concepts, so that we can call it is a object-oriented programming language. Then what is object-based? So in object-based programming languages, which will support only class and object. It will support only class and object. Rest of the features are not supported. So rest of the features are not supported. So those type of programming languages are called object-based programming languages. So VB script, these are all object-based programming languages. Python also will support class and object. Python will come in every category. Like we can do structured programming, object-based programming, object-oriented programming, everything we can do using Python. Okay. Now, what is structured programming language? So structured programming languages doesn't support any of these concepts. We can still write a programs, but they don't support all these concepts: class, object, polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction, and encapsulation. So these concepts are not supported in structured programming languages. And except this Python language, Python comes under every category, but other than this Python, rest of the languages. If I look at C language, this is purely structure-oriented programming language. Similarly, if I look at VB and VB script, these are purely object-based oriented programming languages. object-based programming languages, so that it will support only class and object. And object-oriented means it will support all 6 concepts like C++, Java, C#, and these are all purely object-oriented programming languages. And Python is also object-oriented programming language. So Python is all-rounder, which comes under every category. We can do structured programming without using class and object. Also, we can write a programming by using class and object. We can do, but we can also use other concepts, other object-oriented programming concepts in Python. So this is a basic categorization. Okay. So what is object-oriented programming? What is the definition is? As per definition, Java is a object-oriented programming language. Why it is an object-oriented programming language? Because which will support all object-oriented programming concepts, which will support all types of programming, all types of object-oriented programming concepts. So that is the reason we call it as a purely object-oriented. Purely object-oriented means what again? So without a class, we can't write a single line of code in Java. Without a class, we cannot write a single line of code in Java. So which is purely object-oriented programming language. But when you look at C++ or Python or C#, they are not purely, they are object-oriented, but without using class, without creating class, also we can write a program. So Java is purely object-oriented programming language because without creating the class, we cannot write a single line of the code in Java. So that we can call it as an object-oriented programming language. Okay. So now we have understood what is object-oriented programming language. If any language supports these 6 object-oriented programming features, those type of languages called as object-oriented programming languages. So later we will try to understand all these features and we are going to learn all these features from Java programming. Okay. So these are all object-oriented programming concepts: class, object, polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction, and then encapsulation. So Java will support all these features so that we can call it as a purely object-oriented programming language. Now, what are the different features are there for Java? What are the different features of Java? What it will support, what it will not support. There are mainly 2 features we can discuss. One is platform independent. This is one of the most important feature from Java. Platform independent. So what is platform independent means? Platform independent means we can install Java on any type of operating system. It will support Windows, it will support Mac, it will support Unix, it will support Linux. Almost every operating system it will support. That's the one thing. Second thing is, if you write your Java program on Windows, the same Java program we can execute on other operating systems. So you don't need to change the code from one operating system to another operating system. You don't need to change anything. The same piece of code, whatever you have written, the same program, you can easily execute on different platforms without doing any change. So that particular feature is called platform independent. Platform independent means what? We can execute the same Java program. If you write somewhere, and if you write a program in one environment, same program you can execute in different type of environments. So that is called platform independent feature. This is one of the most popular and important feature from Java. A second feature is Java is case sensitive language. Case sensitive language. This is another feature of Java. So case sensitive means what? It will differentiate lower and uppercase characters. It will consider lower and uppercase characters differently, which is basically called as case sensitive language. Suppose if you write something, suppose I create some variable called x equal to 10. And this is one character. Suppose if we create one more x equal to 10. So here the x is small case and here x is uppercase. Both will be treated differently. That's called case sensitive language. And if you look at some other languages like Python or other languages, they are not case sensitive languages, especially when you look at VB or VB script, they are not case sensitive language. Means what? You can write code either in uppercase characters or either in small case characters, will be treated will be treated same. But in Java, it's not like that. So the Java programming is case sensitive. Java language is case sensitive. So lowercase and uppercase characters will be treated differently. So that you need to remember. So these are the main two important features: platform independent, and Java is a case sensitive language. Okay. Now, in Java, normally we heard three different type of terms: JDK, JRE, and JVM. So these are three important components which we have to understand from Java. Components. And interview perspective, these are most important. So please remember this. Three components. And somewhere in the internet, you may see these particular terms. One is JDK. Second one is JRE, and the third is JVM. So these are three different inner components of Java. JDK, Java Development Kit. The full form is Java Development Kit. JRE means Java Runtime Environment. And the third, JVM, means Java Virtual Machine. So these are the three different components which we have in Java: JDK, JRE, and JVM. So let us try to understand this. For interview perspective, this is most important. What is JDK, JRE, and JVM? JDK means it is a Java Development Kit. This is a full-fledged Java software. Suppose if you want to download Java software from internet, you have to download JDK. So you don't see Java download anywhere else. You can see JDK. So JDK is representing full-fledged, the complete Java software, which we have to download and install. JDK means what? Java Development Kit. So if you want to write your Java programs, or if you want to execute it, or if you want to develop any Java-based applications, we have to download and install JDK, Java Development Kit. The full software is required. So whenever you want to develop any Java-based applications, you have to download and install JDK. That's the first component, this full software. Now, second is JRE, Java Runtime Environment. So sometimes, suppose there is some application which is already developed using Java itself, which is already developed. Now I want to download that application. I want to install that application in your local system, right? I want to download and install Java-based application, which is already developed by somebody else. So to install that application, to run that application, you need to provide certain environment. That's called JRE. So for example, somebody is developed a Java application, which is already there in internet. You have downloaded some executable file or something. And before installing that software, you have to install JRE. You have to provide Java Runtime Environment. And once you have Java Runtime Environment, then you can install that particular software and you can run it. And here you are not developing the software. You are just installing the software which is already developed by somebody else. So to run that particular Java software, the software which is developed by using Java, if you want to run that in your local system, you need to install only JRE, Java Runtime Environment. You no need to install a complete JDK software. Just you need to have only JRE component. You can install only JRE. That will provide you the environment on which you can install and run your Java-based applications. And if you install JDK, by default, you will get JRE. You no need to install JRE separately. Means JRE is a subset of JDK. For example, let us look, this is your JDK software, and which contains the JRE itself. So if you install JDK, Java Development Kit, by default, you will get JRE along with the JDK. And if you want to develop any software, any Java-based application, anyway, you have to install JDK. Along with, you will by default get JRE. It is a sub-component of JDK. Suppose I don't want to develop any applications. I just want to run my Java application. Somebody is developed and I have just want to install it and I want to run that application. Then you can install only JRE separately. Okay, you can install only JRE part separately. This is a sub-component in JDK. So these are the two components. One is for developing a Java-based applications. Another is for running a Java-based applications. And if you want to develop the Java applications, you have to install JDK. And if you just want to run the Java-based application, you don't want to develop anything, then you can just install only JRE, runtime environment. Now JVM. So JVM is a Java virtual machine. Java virtual. Virtual means what? Invisible. Virtual means invisible. Java virtual machine. This is the main component of Java. This is a part of JRE. JVM. It is not a separate or a piece of software which we can install. So by default, the JVM comes along with the JRE itself. But means if you install JDK, you will automatically get JRE and JVM. If you install JRE, you will get a JRE and a JVM. But JVM we cannot install separately. JVM is not a physical software which we can download and install. It is a part of entire Java. So Java virtual machine. So what is the main purpose of this component? Suppose when you write your Java program, normally we use English language, English statements like a class or int or like that. So we will write some Java code like this by using English statements. But machine cannot understand this. So machines cannot understand this English language. So this should be converted into some other language which the machine can understand, which we can call it as a byte code. Okay, this is simple. In English language we will write our Java program, but machines cannot understand this. So somebody should convert this program into byte code. So the byte code in the sense what? This code can understandable by any machines. It can be any type of operating systems. So this byte code will be actually executing internally by Java. But who is converting this? Somebody should convert this English to byte code. And this byte code will be executed internally. And this is platform independent. So who is doing this? JVM is doing it. So JVM is responsible for many things. JVM is responsible for compiling our code. Compiling means what? It will check is there any syntactical errors are there in the program also. So if you write some mistakes or if you do some mistakes in your program, it will easily identify and notify you. That's the first thing. And once you write your program, once you execute it, the code is converted into byte code. The code will be converted into byte code format. And that is also done by the JVM. After converting this byte code, the byte code will be executed and finally provide the result. That is also done by the JVM. So the whole responsibility of Java will be taken care by JVM. We can say this is a heart of Java. So without having JVM, there is no Java. So JDK means what? Java Development Kit. This is a full-fledged Java software. JRE means Java Runtime Environment, which will provide the environment where we can run our Java-based application, which is already developed. JVM is Java Virtual Machine. This is a part of JRE, which is responsible for converting our program or code into byte code format that the machines can understand. And it is also responsible for compiling our code. Compilation means what? It will check whether our code is having some mistakes or not, syntactical errors, it will verify and execute our program and finally provide the result. So these things will be done by the JVM itself. So these are the three main components which we have to remember from Java. So JDK, JRE, and then JVM. JDK means Java Development Kit, Java Runtime Environment, Java Virtual Machine. Virtual Machine means it is invisible. Virtual means invisible. It is not a physical software, which is already part of JRE and JDK. Now, which one we have to download? Now we want to develop some application. We want to write our Java code. We want to execute our program. So which one we need? JDK. So we have to download and install JDK, which will come along with the JRE as well as JVM. Guys, you have understood now what is JDK, JRE, and JVM. Everyone, please confirm in the chat box. So what is the difference between JDK, JRE, and JVM? Most important, most popular interview question. What is JDK? What is JRE? What is JVM? What are the difference between JDK, JRE, and JVM? Okay. Now, so which one we have to download now? JDK we have to download. JDK means Java Development. Okay. Now let us start downloading and set up environment. So before setting up the environment, so what are the things we need? So mainly Java is having two, we can divide entire Java into two different parts. This is our just logical division. One is, we can say, core Java, the entire Java concepts, we can divide into two parts. Core Java concepts, and the second is advanced Java concepts. Core Java, advanced Java concepts. So overall, the entire thing is Java only, but some concepts we comes under core Java, we divide them into core Java concept. They are basics from Java, and some of the concepts are advanced. So for example, if you look at core Java, under core Java, we are going to learn the language fundamentals. Language fundamental means what? Like operators, data types, conditional statement, variables, okay, looping statements, arrays concept, how to work with the strings, and all object-oriented programming concepts, right? So these are all comes under core Java concepts. Now, when you go to advanced Java, so there are some more advanced concepts like collections, data structures, JDBC, swing. Okay, these are all concepts which are required for development purpose. But as per the testing perspective, we don't need advanced Java concepts. We can still manage with the core Java concepts. If you know the basic object-oriented programming concepts, they are more than enough in automation. Okay, so we are going to learn core Java concepts. All the concepts in core Java we are going to learn. So before that, we have to set up the environment. So to set up environment, to write your Java program, to run your Java program, so what are the things we need? First thing, we have to download JDK. That means, what is JDK? Whenever I say JDK, you have to remember that is your Java software environment setup. So there are two softwares we required. One is JDK, which is basically Java software we require to install. Second is IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment. Means there is a software which we need to write you and run your Java program. For example, I'm writing some nodes here. So to write some nodes, I'm using some notepad, right? And similarly, if you want to write your Java program, or if you want to execute your Java program, if you want to see the result from the Java program, you need a kind of editor, a tool, or a software that is called as IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So Eclipse is a very popular environment, especially for Java. So many people will use Eclipse. And there are other softwares also there in the market. For example, IntelliJ IDE. Okay, and there are so many these are two popular stuff, and there are many more IDEs. You can use any of the IDEs. Even VS Code editor also we can use for Java. But these are the two popular editors which are there in the market. And Eclipse is more popular for Java developers and Java programming. So we have to first install Java or JDK. And the second is we have to install one IDE. It can be Eclipse or it can be IntelliJ IDE. So initially we will start with Eclipse. And once you're familiar with Eclipse, after a few sessions, I will also introduce how to install IntelliJ IDE and how to write a program, how to execute, and how to use that environment in IntelliJ IDE. So we'll also cover these two in the coming sessions. But initially we will start with the Eclipse, okay, how to install Eclipse, and we will see how to create a project, how to run the project, how to create a Java program, and so on. All right. So these are the two important softwares which we need to start with Java. Okay. So first let us start download and installing JDK. But before that, we need to know what are the different versions are there in JDK. What are the different versions are there in the JDK? So if I look at versions, Java versions, from Java 8 So Java 1 to 8, all these versions all comes from Sun Microsystems. This is the company actually, Sun Microsystems. From Java 1 to 8, all these versions are comes from Sun Microsystems. And that time Java is available as an open source software. There is no license for that. After Java 8, from Java 9 onwards, Oracle companies acquired Java. That means Oracle companies acquired Sun Microsystems. So now Sun Microsystems merged into Oracle software. Oracle is a company which is basically develop the database related softwares. We will know already. Oracle is one of the database which is popular database which is developed by using Oracle company, right? So Oracle is acquired Sun Microsystem, it's merged into Oracle, and then onwards Java software is comes under Oracle company. So Oracle is owned Java software. So after Java 9, there are so many versions are released into market. But as per Selenium standard, the basic version which we need to have is Java 11. So from Java 11 onwards, whichever the latest version which we have, we can still use with Selenium. So I can say JDK 11 plus. Plus means after JDK 11. From JDK 11, 12, 13 up to 20th. I think currently 20 or 21 version is currently going on in the market. So whichever version is available, you can use that version. Any version is compatible with Selenium after JDK 11. So JDK 8, 9 and 10, these support is not there. So recently they have announced. So the old versions of Java support is not there with Selenium. So the latest announcement from Selenium guys is JDK 11 onwards, we can use any software. So JDK 11 plus, any version we can use. This is preferable for Selenium. Okay, that's the first thing. And the second thing is, we can install JDK, whichever version you want after Java 11. And Eclipse, we can always get the latest version. Whichever the latest version is available, we can get. And both are open source. Both are open source. Okay. Now, first let us start download Java and install it. I will show you step by step and you can just look at it. And after completion of the session, you guys can try this. And also I will share the document which contains all the screenshots, step-by-step screenshot, whatever I'm doing here. Okay. So I already created one document. I will share this later. The version can be anything and the process is exactly the same. And even if you're working on Mac also, the same process, there is no change. We have to just download the installer and start run the installer. I will show you how to download this JDK. So first of all, you need to go to a Google and just type download JDK. Okay, once you click on it, it will go to Oracle website, Java downloads. So this is a web page. And here they provided different versions of JDK. And currently the latest version is JDK 20 is the latest version. You can go with the JDK 11 or whichever version you want. 17 is also fine. So if I look at JDK 20 here, by default, it is populated. And if you scroll down here, you can see 3 different operating systems, Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. And if you're working on Windows, you can just go to Windows here and you can see 3 different type of installers. And here you have to download executable file. .exe file. You can see x64-bit installer. So this is the one you have to download if you are working on Windows. Executable file you have to download. And if you're working on Mac OS, then you can just go to Mac OS and here you can download DMG. This is a DMG file you have to download. This is the installer on Mac OS. Okay. So once you download it, you will get executable file or you will get a DMG file if you are using Mac. So once you get an installer, you have to just double click on that installer. It will start installing the Java software. So I already installed on my system. So I have just captured the screenshot. I will go through them. You can easily understand it. And the same process you have to continue on your system. So this is a link. When you click on this here, and it will go to this particular page. And one more thing, before downloading this, you have to log into this Oracle website. Initially, you have to sign up to this account. Okay, you need to sign up. Sign up means you have to go to this page first of all. Okay, and Oracle website, and it will ask you to create an account. You need to sign up first. Let me show you. So it is just Oracle, not cloud. Okay, so here, this is a link. Oracle, create your own account. So it's just go to this page. Okay, so if you go to this page, you have to provide all your details. You can just provide some dummy details, except this email address, valid email address, password, so that it will be very useful for in future also. In future, if you want to download any software from this website, you have to log in. So better to create your own account in this website. And once you created your own account, then you can log into this web page, and then you can go to this link directly and you can download it. Okay, so only once you log in, then only it is allowed to download. You can go to JDK 20 or 17, anything is fine. Okay, both are latest versions. Right, so once you download it, so here I have shown you for Java 11 download, but you can try with any other versions, no problem. So here I have shown you how to download. And once you download, you can just click on this button, it is downloaded. So once you download it, okay, before downloading, it will ask username and password, right? So you have to provide this, right? So once you get your executable file or DMG file on your Mac OS, just we need to run that installer. Just double click and it will automatically start. So it will show you the screen like this, preparing to install. And after that, you will get this screen and then click on the next button. And then again, it will show you one more window, development tools and source code. So you don't need to do anything here. And just remember this path, which is most important. And this is the default path where exactly Java will be installed. And if you want to change this path, you can change by clicking on the change button. Or if you don't want to change, just leave it as it is and then click on the next button. So once you click on the next button, then it will start installation. It will take a few seconds of time to complete this process. And after that, you will see this window and you can simply close this window. That's it. So this is simple installation, just 2 to 3 screens you can see. Click on next. After clicking on executable file, click next. That's over. So installation is done. So once installation is done, we need to set up Java path. So this is Oracle sign up link. Okay, so once you install Java, we need to set the Java path. So which is most important. Once you install JDK, then we have to set Java path. So this is most important point. I'll tell you why we need to set Java path. Whenever you install any new software on your operating system, your operating system will know exactly where that software is got installed, that location of the software. The operating system should know that. So normally what happens is whenever you install any software on your operating systems, your operating system will remember the location of those softwares. So where it will remember, for example, if you just go here anywhere, let's say if you are working on Windows, you can just go to this PC and go to properties. And here you can see something called advanced system settings. Properties, advanced system settings. And here, this is the where. So this is the, you can go to environment variables. Yeah, this is the place. You can directly search environment variables, you will get this window. So in this environment variables, you can see here system variables. So these are all different variables automatically created by your Windows operating system. So basically what these variables will refer, the different software. So whatever softwares you have installed on your local system, it will automatically capture the locations of those softwares. So everything will be maintained here. But in case of Java, what happens is whenever you install Java, by default, your operating system don't know the location. It will not capture automatically, especially for Java. Or Windows will not automatically capture the location where it is got installed. So we have to set that path manually. Other software, there is no problem. It will automatically capture the location. You can see here. But in case of Java or JDK, we have to copy that path manually. We have to set path here. So that is a one additional step we have to do once you installed Java. Okay, otherwise we cannot work with the Java. So even though if you have installed successfully, it will not work until unless you specify the path. So now what we need to do is once you install your Java, we have to set Java path. So once we install JDK, then we have to set Java path. So how to set the Java path? So to set the Java path, first we need to capture the location where exactly the Java is got installed. If I go to C drive, this is the default location, program files. And here you can see Java. So this is the default location where Java is got installed. So now what we have to do is we have to go inside this JDK and go to inside this bin folder. This is the complete path. This is the complete path of Java till bin folder. Bin is nothing but a binaries. All Java based binaries are available here. You have to capture this entire path, copy this path, and then go to environment variables. How to go to environment variables? You can directly search here. You can say environment variables. You can see edit the system environment variables. And you can directly go here and click on environment variables. Now under system variables, you can see here under system variables, you can see one path variable which is already created here, path variable. You can select this path variable, click on edit. And once you click on edit, you can see already there are some default paths which are already set here. And we should not interrupt them. Let it be as it is. And we need to just click on new button here and then paste it here. Whatever path we copied, Java path, we just paste it over here. That's it. So once you paste it over here, then click on OK, then OK, and then OK. Close everything. That's it. So this is the way we can simply set Java path. So I have clearly given all the screenshot here. Go to advanced settings and just go to environment variables and just go to path variable here. Click on edit and then just add your Java path. So whichever version you have installed, you can just provide that path till bin folder. That's it. So this is how we can simply set Java path. And there is another way to set Java path. I will tell you that also. The other way is you can just go to environment variables directly. And here, instead of directly go to path variable, you can create one more additional variable like this, Java underscore home. I already created this variable. You can see how to create this. You can click on the new button here and say uppercase characters, Java underscore home. And here, whatever path you captured, you no need to provide the complete path. You can simply provide only till home path like this. Program files, Java, JDK 19. This is home, Java home, not bin folder. So once you provided your Java home path, you can simply say OK. Then Java home path will be created here. And once you created your Java home path, after that, go to path variable, edit. And here you can specify like this. New, we already created Java home, right? We need to get that path. So to get the Java home path, you can say percentile Java underscore home, which is already created now. And after that, we can simply specify the bin folder /bin. That's it. So Java home variable we already created. So we can just refer that variable by using percentile /bin. This is another way of creating Java path variable. Or if you don't want to create multiple variables, directly you can specify the path. Till bin folder, you can directly write it here. And you don't need to create the Java home path. In future, it is required, but for now, it is not required. Okay. So I already created them. So I just want to remove it. So Java home is already there. So this step is mandatorily you have to do. And if I don't do this step, your Java will not work. Your Java program will not be executed. So this step mandatorily you have to do it. And for Mac users, you no need to set any path by default. If you are using latest Mac versions, you no need to set any path. By default, it will get and it will run it. Okay, you can just check it. So this is how we can simply download, install JDK, and then set Java path. Now, what is the next step? So once you have set, everything is done. So we have successfully installed Java, set Java path, and now we have to cross check everything is successfully done or not. So how we can check? Just open the command prompt or a terminal like this. And on Windows command prompt, or if you're using Mac, you can open the terminal. On this, you can just execute one command, Java space version. So if I give this command, this will give you the version which we have installed. So if you are not properly set to Java path, it will not give you the version number like this. It will give you the command not found error. Okay. So if you are successfully done, if you have installed Java and also we have set Java path, after that, open this command prompt and then check Java version is executed successfully or not. It will clearly show you which version of Java you have successfully installed. Okay. So like this, we have to install Java and set Java path and check the command. So I have created this command also. We can just check it. Okay. This is a simple way we can download, install JDK. So this is the first thing. Now, so we have successfully installed Java, which is JDK. Now we have to install Eclipse IDE. Eclipse IDE we have to download and install. Now let me show you how to download and install latest version of Eclipse. Always try to take the latest one. They keep doing some changes every time. So try to get the latest Eclipse. So now I'm going to show you how to download and install Eclipse. So go to, everything is open source and free software. So you don't need to buy anything. You can simply just download and install. Okay, now go to Google and just download. Just type download Eclipse. And you will directly go to this page, Eclipse downloads. So this is the web page. Eclipse.org downloads. So in this page, you can just directly download. You can just see this is the latest version, Eclipse IDE 2023-09. This is the latest version of this Eclipse IDE. And you can just click on it. So once you click on it, it will navigate to another page. Okay, now it will automatically navigate another way. And if you're opening this link on Mac OS, it will show you the DMG file. You have to just download it. If you are working on Windows, it is a executable file .exe. And if you are working on Mac, it is a DMG file. So this is the executable file, jrewin64.exe. You can simply click on download. And here you don't need any sign up or sign in anything. You can simply download. So once you click on the download, it will start downloading the software. You can see here. Okay, the executable file will start downloading. So once it is downloaded, and just go to the folder where it is got downloaded. This is the executable file. Now, once you get an executable file, we just double click, it will start installing. So I'm just double clicking on this. And if you're working on Mac, it's the same process again. It just download the EMG file and double click and it will start installing. So this will take a few seconds of time. So let's complete. So initially, once you start clicking on Eclipse installer, here you have to choose which one we have to install because there are so many different flavors are there. So you need to select one of the flavors. So this is the one, Eclipse IDE for Java developers. So this is the option which we have to select. So once you click on this, and it will show you the location where exactly it will install program files. And by default, Eclipse comes along with Java. Eclipse is also developed by using Java itself. So it needs Java internally. So by default, it will get Java like this and installation folder. So where it is going to install, it will show you the location also. This is the location. And better to copy this location. Later, it will be useful for creating the shortcut. And you can see create start menu entry, create test or shortcut, leave it as it is, and then click on install. And you don't need to change anything here. Let it be the default values. And once you click on install, it will start installing the software. So everything is very simple, very easy steps. You guys can try this. And if you have any confusion, just go through the document and look at the screenshots and then continue. So this will take a few seconds of time. So let's wait for a few seconds. Okay, so once it is successfully installed, you can see one desktop shortcut is also got created. And so now what we can do, we can simply close this window, or then you can launch your IDE by using this shortcut icon, or else you can directly launch from here directly. You can simply click on launch. It will automatically launch your Eclipse. So this is the latest version, 2023-09. Almost in every month, they release a newer versions. So 09 is the latest version. Okay, so first time when you launch your Eclipse, you will see this window. And in this, you have to specify the workspace. So what is a workspace? So suppose you created some project and you are doing some stuff in your project. You have to save all of them in one place. You need to save all of them in one single place. That is called workspace. Means whatever work you're doing in Eclipse, you have to maintain that work, or you have to save that work in some place. So that is called workspace. So that you need to provide. So before going here, let it be there, and you can create your own workspace. Just go C drive or D drive, wherever you want. And I want to create, suppose, workspaces. I already have one folder, workspaces, and here I'm going to create a new workspace. So click on the new folder you can create, and later in future, whatever Java programs we are writing, automation, everything I'm going to store in this particular folder only. So here you can give any name to the folder. So I'm just giving here, let's say 15th batch, right? So 15th September batch, September 2023 batch. So I'm just giving some folder name here, and I'm using this folder as a workspace. So once you create it, now come back, and here just you need to browse it. Click on browse, and then go wherever you create a workspace. And this is only one-time task. Okay, once you created a workspace, you have to use the same workspace forever. So I'm just selecting whatever empty folder I have created, simply select folder. So now you got the workspace. Okay, and then you can select this box if you want. Use this as a default and do not ask again. So if every time when you launch your Eclipse, it will ask you to specify the workspace location. So if you don't want to ask every time, so you can simply select this checkbox and then click on launch. So once you have done it, your Eclipse will start opening the workspace. Okay, now first time when you open your Eclipse, you will see this window, and this is the welcome window. And if you don't want to see this welcome window every time, you can simply directly close it, or you can say always show welcome at start. If you select this checkbox, every time the welcome window will appear. We don't need this every time, so you can simply close directly. Okay, now this is a new or fresh window of Eclipse. This is a default Eclipse window. First time you will see like this. So now we need to do some things here. So you don't need here task list. You can just close, and outline also you can directly close, and the problems, all those things you don't need. You can simply close this, declarations and everything. So this is a plain window. And here you can see by default package explorer. And this is the most important window. And there are some menus are there, some icons are there. Later we will try to understand one by one. So first thing what we need to do is, whenever you open your Eclipse, by default, you can see your workspace. Okay, you can see your workspace here. On the tab, title tab, you can see your workspace. Can you see here? 15th September 2023 batch -Eclipse IDE. So this is your workspace name you will see. By default, you are already in your workspace. So now what we need to do is we have to create a new project. So whatever prerequisites we want, we already done it. So JDK already installed. Eclipse IDE is already installed. So now we are ready to create a new Java project, and we are ready to write a new Java program, and we are ready to execute it. So now let us do step by step. So the first thing is we have to create a new Java project. Once Eclipse is ready, then we have to do some steps. So first step is we have to create a new Java project in Eclipse only one time. So same project we are going to use in every day. So first we need to start creating a new Java project. So how to create a new Java project in Eclipse? You can directly click on this create a Java project link from Package Explorer. This will open a new window like this. Or you can just directly go to File menu. Here you can do New and Java project. And this will also open the same window. Or you can directly use this icon. You can see here, there is an icon. Click on this icon, you can click on the Java project. So this will open the same window. So once you open this window, here you can provide your project name. So here I'm just providing some name. Let's say Java program name. You can provide any name to this. Don't give any spaces and everything. Just provide some project name. So once you provided your project name, by default, it will take whichever Java is already installed on your local system. Or sometimes it will take Java from Eclipse itself, because Eclipse also comes along with Java. So by default, it will take. So no need to change anything here. Just to provide only Java project name. Simply, you can create finish. Okay, just say only finish. So once you click on this finish, then it will create new Java project. You can see here. Okay, this is a new Java project which is showing. Under this Java project, by default, you can see JRE system library. Means what? This Java project is associated with the Java itself. And under this SRC, you can see something called module info.java. So I think we are not going to use this module concept. You can just have it, or you can just remove it, no problem. You can just say right click, and then I can delete this module info.java. We don't need, you can say delete it. So now this is a simple new Java project which we have to create. This is a step number 1. So once you created your new Java project, so then what we have to do is we have to create a new Java project, new Java package. In the later upcoming sessions, I will detail explain about what is package, all those things. But for now, just follow as it is. Create a new Java package. So as soon as you created your Java project, inside this SRC, SRC means what? Source. It is a main folder, or we can say main package in Java. And whatever we are going to do, everything will be part of SRC. Okay. So in SRC, I want to create my own package. So what is package? Package is just like a folder. Just like a folder. So what I will do is under SRC, I will create a multiple folders every day, like day 1, day 2, day 3. So whatever programs I'm going to explain will be part of that particular folder. So under SRC, today I'm going to create a new folder. That means new package. Right click and new package. You will get this window. You can see like this. Right click on SRC, new, and here you have to take package. Package in the sense, just like a folder. So now select the package. Now here you have to provide the package name. So here I'm saying day 1 and click on. So don't take this package info.java. This is not needed. Simply say only day 1 package name and say finish. Now we created a new folder under SRC. Folder in the sense in Java, we call it as a package. Now inside this package only, we are going to write your Java programs. So now we'll see how to create a first and very simple Java program, very basic Java program. Step 1, we created a new Java project. Step 2, we created a new Java package. Now, step 3, Whenever you want to write a new Java program, first we need to create a new class. This is most important. So without creating a class, we cannot write a single line of code in Java. So we have to create a new class. Okay. So what is class? In coming sessions, I will detail explain. At least for few sessions, just blindly follow as it is what I'm saying. Okay. So after few sessions, you will understand what exactly class means, what is object, all these things. So how to create a new class? So to create a new class, under this package, whatever package we created, just right click on it, new. Here you can see class. So just click on this class and here this window will open. In this, you can just provide a class name. You don't need to change anything here. Just on the name box, you can provide. So here I'm just giving some name to the class, I say. And always remember, the class name should always start with uppercase character. This is the naming convention. So we need to follow certain naming standards in Java. I will tell you what are those naming conventions. But initially, you can just check. So whenever you provide a class name, you have to start with uppercase character. So I can say first Java program. Or you can just give whatever name you want. I can simply say welcome. Or you can say anything. Okay, let me just give like this. First Java program. First Java program. So don't give any spaces. So this should be one single word. And in between, if you find any words, you can use uppercase character, no problem. But don't give any spaces. And it should start with uppercase character. Just take this name and just directly click on this finish button. So don't take any of this option. Just provide your class name and just click on finish. So once you've done it, you will see a new class is got created under day one and automatically opens another window. You can close this window. Again, if you want to open, just double click on this program, Java, and you can see this window. So this is a simple way of creating a new class. We'll try to understand what exactly they are. But initially, we will try to understand the steps. What are the steps? First, we created new Java project. And you can directly do like this. Go to directly file and then click on the new. And here you can say new Java project. This is the navigation. And after how to create a new Java package, just right click on SRC and then select package. So how to create a package, just right click on SRC, new package. This is the navigation. Right click on SRC and then package. So this will create a new package. Now how to create a new class? Again, right click on package, which we created above, and then new class. So just right click on package like this, new class. So this is the navigation. So once you created your class, now we are ready to write your Java program. So font is very, very smaller. So let us try to increase this font. So even this window package explorer font is very small. And this is also very small, right? So let us try to increase this font. If you want to increase this font, there is a shortcut key. Okay, so I can say, yeah, Control plus. If I say Control plus, automatically this will increase the font like this. Okay, Control minus means decreasing. Control plus shortcut key. I'll just put here to increase font in window, in Eclipse window. You can say Control plus. Control, CTRL plus button. So both you have to press Control plus. Multiple times you can press, automatically the font will be increased. Okay. Now if I look at this, the first line is representing in which package we are writing the Java program. So the package is a keyword. And here day one is a name of the package and a semicolon representing end of the statement. Semicolon representing end of the statement. So every program, whenever you start writing a new class, the first line is representing the package, in which package you have created a class. Okay. Now, if you look at this, these are all Java keywords: public, class, and this is the name of the class, and starting curly brace, ending curly brace. So if I look at this particular syntax, public class, public is basically called as access modifier. Class is a keyword which is actually representing this is a class. So in the coming sessions, you will understand in detail what exactly they are. And once you understand object-oriented programming concept, then you will be able to understand this. So next to few sessions, just follow blindly, just like this. Okay, public class, class name, and curly brace is representing the starting point. So you can put in the same line or you can put in the next line also, no problem. This is a starting point of the class and this is the ending point of the class. So whatever you want to write in a program should be part of this open and closing curly braces. Here you have to write. This is called scope of the class. Where it is got started, here it is started, and here it is end. So this part is called scope of the class. And inside this class, we have to create something called a main method. So how to create the syntax is public static void main. In this, you have to write something called string arguments. Don't worry if you're not understood this, no problem. This is not the right time to understand all these things. Just use it as it is. In the coming sessions, you will get more understanding about this. So this is the class and the name of the class. Inside this, we have to write something called main method. This is called main method. This part is called main method. So whatever Java program you created, wherever you created, whenever you created, you must write this syntax. You must write this syntax: public class, class name, started point, and public static void main, and string args. And again, this is a starting point of main method. This is a ending point of main method. This is called main method. And the class always contains the method. So currently we have created only one method. We can also create multiple methods. So that we will see later. For now, the class contains the one main method. So without having this main method, we cannot execute the class. If you want to run this class, if you want to execute and see the result of the class, we have to write main method. So main method must and should. And if you don't have this main method, you cannot run this program. First of all, we have not written anything so far. Just we created a new class. Inside this, we just created one main method. So whenever you create a new class, main method must be present. Without main method, you cannot run the program. So main method must be present inside the class. Now, whatever you want to write should be part of main method. Now, I want to print some message, some welcome message as an output. When I execute this program, I want to get some output message like welcome to Java. So how we can do that? I can just write one statement here. System.out.println. System.out.println. And here I'm writing some message. Say welcome to Java. And then semicolon. I've written only one single statement in the main method. So this is a simple program I have created. Now, when I execute this program, I will get output, this one. So whatever I mentioned here, this I will get as an output. But how to run this program, how to execute this program, you can do multiple ways. You can just right click here, run as Java application. Or you can directly go here, run menu, and you can use this option. Control F11 is a shortcut key. Or you can directly click on this icon, run first Java program.java. So normally when you do like this, you will get this window. Every time whenever you run your program, you'll get this window. But basically what it is saying, do you want to save this program before running? Yes, every time before running, we have to save the program. It should always happen. So I will select this checkbox so that next time onwards, it will not ask you to save it every time. It will automatically saved by Eclipse. So next time this window will not appear if you select this. So, okay. And once you executed, now we can see in the console window, this is called console window. And here you are able to see the output of the program. So when I execute this program, you will see this output here. Now, I will write one more statement here. I can say system.out.println. So what is system.out.println means? So this is actually the print statement. If you want to print something as an output, we have to use this command, system.out.println. Again, in the coming sessions, you will understand what is this system, what is an out, what is println. In detail, we will try to understand. But as of now, we can just try to understand. If you want to write or if you want to print something as an output, you have to use this command, system.out.println. And inside this bracket, you can keep. For example, I will say 10 plus 20. 10 plus 20 and then semicolon. So in Java, semicolon is representing end of the statement. Whenever you put semicolon, that is representing this statement is got ended. But this is not applicable for class as well as method. We should not put semicolon here. Similarly, we should not put semicolon for main method. Okay. Semicolon is applicable for only statements which are provided inside this main method. Every statement is ended with the semicolon. Now I have written one more statement, 10 plus 20. Now, when I execute this program, run as a Java program, now you can just see, this is the output of the first statement, and this is the output of the second statement. In the second statement, what I have done, 10 plus 20. So what is plus will do? It will add two numbers, 10 plus 20, 30. So we got a 30 as an output. Okay. Now, this is how we can simply write a Java program and execute your Java program. Then you can see the output in the console window. And one more thing. In the first println statement, I put this in the double quotations. But in the second statement, I haven't put in the double quotations. What could be the reason? If you put in double quotations, then what will happen? See, I'm keeping inside the double quotations. Now execute and see what will happen. When I run as a Java program again, see this? It is just printed as it is. It is not exactly calculated the output. What does it mean? Whatever you keep inside the double quotations, it will exactly print in the console window as an output. It will not do any change. But we want to perform some operation here. We want to do some calculation here. So whenever you want to use any arithmetic operators like minus, plus, division, all those things, we should not put those numbers in the double quotations because they are the numbers. Only the string is nothing but what? Characters, a group of characters is called a string. So those only we can keep in the double quotations. So numbers or when you do some operations, we should not put in the double quotations. Now when I execute this, you will exactly get whatever you want. Okay. So this is how we can simply create a new Java program and execute and see the output in the console window. Fine. So now I'm going to show you one more program. You can just close the console window, close your Java. And what we understood here, how to create a new class. And inside the class, we have created this main method manually. And these are all Java keywords, reserved keywords. We should create exactly the similar way. We should not write uppercase characters. By mistake, if you make this a public is a uppercase character, this is not recognized by Java. You can see Eclipse is intimating you. There is a syntax error here. You can clearly understand. This is another major usage of Eclipse. Whenever you do some mistakes, Eclipse will easily identify and intimate you. So instead of lowercase, I put uppercase character. What it is saying? Syntax error on token public. So you should remove this and put as a lowercase character. Same thing for static void also. These are all lowercase characters. All keywords, Java keywords, means Java is having their own meaning for these keywords. All keywords is appearing same color and they are all in lowercase characters. And one more thing here, in the string, S is uppercase character. We have to write exactly the same. If you put lowercase character, then it is an error. Again, it should be uppercase character. And same system, S is uppercase character. Instead of uppercase, if I use lowercase character, then it will give an error. So S is a uppercase character. In the coming session, slowly we'll make you understand what is the naming convention, how to do it, all those things. Okay, within the 1 or 2 days, you will not get all these things. Once you start practicing, slowly you will understand where exactly we use uppercase character, where exactly we use lowercase character, where exactly we use double quotes, where we should not use double quotes. All those things you will be familiar slowly once you start practicing it. Okay, within few days you will not get it. Takes some time. Initially, you will definitely do some mistakes and do mistakes and try to understand where exactly you have done mistake and rectify it and try to execute it. So this is the first program which we have seen. Now I'm going to create one more new program after saving this. So now I want to create another program. So on the same day one, I'm going to create new class, another class. And here you can just provide only class name. So this is my second Java program. So I can say second Java program. And one more thing. So whenever you create a new class, which should contain the main method. So main method, without having main method, you cannot execute a program. Main method should be present in the class. So in the previous program, what we have done, we have created our own main method. Manually, we have written the main method. But if you don't want to write manually, you can select this box. Public static void main string args. If you look at this particular statement, you can automatically select this so that it will automatically add main method inside the class. If you select this option, you can simply directly say finish. Just observe. Yes, it is created a new class and also it is created main method inside this. So inside this, you can put the curly brace in the next line also like this. Now, this is a simple comment statement. You can just remove it. See this? The structure is got created automatically. Now, where we have to write our code? Inside main method. So here I'm going to write something. So if you want to print something, what is the command we have to use? System.out.println. And here we can write. Let's say I say welcome to Java. So this statement is end here. And when I run this, it will print as it is. Whatever you print in the double quotations, exactly is got printed. Okay, now suppose I don't want to write this entire statement, system.out.println. Sometimes when you write a complete statement, you will do some mistakes. So I automatically insert this entire statement. Automatically, I want to write system.out.println. Simply what you can do is, you can write only syso, syso. S is uppercase character. Syso. And after typing syso, syso, just press control space. Control space. That's it. Automatically, the entire thing will be added. Control space. Command is control plus space. So when you execute this control space, automatically the entire statement will be added. I'll show you one more time. You can just look at this. syso, just type syso, syso, control space. If you are working on Mac, you have to just press command space. Okay, here on Windows, control space. When I say control space, automatically added. Okay, this is a shortcut. So now I can put whatever you want in the double quotations. You can say hello. So whatever you put in the double quotes, when I run this program, you will see same message is got printed. Okay. Now I want to show you something here. So whenever you're creating a class, you have to provide the class name. So we need to follow certain naming conventions. So we need to follow certain rules when I'm providing the class name. So what are the rules we have to follow? Rules. Or we can simply say naming conventions. So what are the rules we have to follow when you provide the class names? The first rule is the class name should start with uppercase character. Class names always start with uppercase characters. Second thing is class name should not start with number. Class name should not start with a number. Okay. And the class name contains underscore, but not hyphen. Contains underscore, but not hyphen. Special characters are not allowed. Class name contains numbers. Numbers also we can have, but it should not start with a number. So I'll tell you, suppose, let me try to create another class. So when I create a new class, it should not start with a number. Let's say 1, 2, 3. No, not possible. It is saying not valid identifier. And here I can say my class. This is also not possible because it is starting with the number. For example, you can do like this. I can say my class 1. You can put like this 1, 2, 3. I can write like this because first you need to start with the characters, then followed by the numbers. It is allowed. But the class name should not start with the numbers. Okay, that's the one thing. Suppose if you want to give some space, for example, let's say here I'm writing my first class. There are 2, 3 words are there. My first class. Every word should start with uppercase character. But if you want to divide them, you should not give spaces like this. Spaces are not allowed. But instead of spaces, you can just give an underscore. Underscore is allowed. Only underscore is allowed from the special characters. Other than underscore, it will not allow you to put any other special character. Suppose instead of underscore, I want to put hyphen. It is not allowed. Hyphen is not allowed. Okay, all special characters are not allowed except this underscore. Only underscore is allowed. Okay, so while creating the class, just remember these rules. So class name should start with uppercase character. Class name should not start with a number. Class name can have underscores in the middle of something, and special characters are not allowed. And class name contains the numbers, but it should not start with the number. As per the second point, it should not start with the number, but in between the class name, you can use numbers. Okay, so these are the naming conventions we have to follow when you're creating a new class. Now go back to the second Java program. So here we can use this method system.out.println, and whatever you put in the double quotes, it will as it is printed in the console window. Now I will try to put multiple statements. Just observe this. This is one statement, 3, 4, 5 statements. So when you run this program, so the same message will be printed 5 times. You can see how many statements I have written? 5 statements. So we got all 5 statements. 5 times it is got printed. So this is the method. So first we have to create a new class. Inside this is the method. And here the method is starting point. This is the ending point. Here it is the starting point of the class, is the ending point of the class. Always remember the class contains this method. And without having this main method, we cannot execute your program. So execution will always start from the main method itself. JVM, Java Virtual Machine, will start executing the program from the main method itself. Okay. Now, let us see something about comments. What is comment? There are 2 kinds of comments, single line and multi-line comments. Single line and multi-line comments. What is comments? What is the use of comments? So comments are basically improve the readability of the code. For example, let us say I have written 5 statements here. And whenever I also enable this statement. So if I execute this, by default, it will execute 6 statements. See, all of them are got executed. Now, I don't want to execute this particular statement. The first statement, I don't want to execute. Simply, we can comment it. So how to comment the single line? You can simply say // put one // forward //. This will automatically comment that line. So whenever you commented, Java will not execute that particular statement. So initially you got this message. After commenting, if you execute your code, you will not execute this statement. The rest of the statements are got executed. So whichever statement you don't want to execute, you can put the comment. So for example, here, these 2 statements also I don't want to execute. So just put that as a comment. So when you run it, you will get only 3 statements. Only these 3 got executed. Okay. And suppose I want to comment everything, only except the first statement, and all these statements I want to comment. Okay. In this case, what you can do is, if you have just 2 to 3 lines, you can do like this. Like this. Okay, suppose we have a 20 lines or 50 lines or 100 lines of code. Then instead of using single line comment, you can comment all the lines in one shot. Simple, you can say 1/*. So this is a starting point. Here you want to start comment, and where you want to end all the statement you want to comment. So at the end of the last statement, you can close this by using star and a slash. So now all these statements are got commented. So slash star, star slash. Here star comes after the slash. Here star comes before the slash. So this is called multi-line comment. So now when I execute this, all the lines are commented except the first line. Only first line will be executed. So single line comment, we use slash slash, and multi-line comment, we can use slash slash, and the starting point, and this is the ending. And what is the use of this comment? It will just improve the readability of the code. And also, you have written some piece of code, and you only can understand the code. You have, suppose you created some variables and some looping statements, and you have written some logic inside the program. And if you provide your program to somebody else for reading, they can't understand your code. And suppose you created some piece of code, some logic you have written, they don't understand. So before writing the logic, if you write some comment before that, so why you created this variable, why you created this looping statement, why you created this data type, if you write some meaningful message, so others will able to understand your code by just reading that comment. So that will improve the readability of your code. Very, very helpful. A single line comment and multi-line comment. And also, if you don't want to execute some piece of code or some piece of lines in your program, you can simply comment them. Either it can be single line or it can be multiple lines. So that's how we can use comment, single line comment and multi-line. Okay. So how to create a class, how to create a main method. So for few sessions at least, follow the same structure as it is, and you will be able to understand this in the coming sessions. Slowly I'll make you understand, because we need to understand so many other concepts to understand this. So what is public, what is class, and what is static, what is made, okay, what is void, and what is the string argument, what is this bracket, and what is this system out, println. There are many things are here. So to understand all of them, at least we need to finish 4 to 5 sessions. And then you will be able to understand what exactly they are. Okay, we will try to understand individually what are those keywords. There's separate sessions are there to understand this. And once you understand, then we will understand the complete part. What is class, what is main method, what is system, what is out, what is println. So you will get to know exactly what are they. So this is a basic understanding. So what we have seen so far is we have successfully installed Java, and we have also successfully installed Eclipse IDE. And then we have created a new Java project in Eclipse. We have created a new package in Eclipse under Java, same project. And we have created a new class. And inside the class, we have written simple one main method. And then we have executed. Okay. So for today, just practice this much. Try to set up the environment, install Java, install Eclipse. And once the environment is done, then create a new project in your Eclipse. And before starting Eclipse, it will ask you the workspace. Create a workspace and create a new project. And every day I will create a new package like this. Let's say day 1 is today, tomorrow day 2, day 3, day 4, like this. Every day I will create a new folder, new package, and I will create all the programs. And I will share these code examples on day-to-day basis. Okay. And to install Eclipse and Java, you don't have any specific restrictions actually. You don't need any system specification. Just 8 GB RAM is enough. If you have, you can just try. So you can just run that app as an administrator. Sometimes you may not have privileges to run the applications. So in those cases, what you can do is, for example, you have downloaded this Eclipse software, right? Instead of directly double clicking on this, you can just run as an administrator. Right click, run as an administrator, so that it will execute the software as an administrator. Sometimes if you do not have proper privileges, you cannot run the installers on your system, on your PC. So in those cases, you can just run that software as an administrator. So then it will continue to execute. Any software, whichever download you have done, you can just run that as an administrator. And if you are working on Mac users, you guys also open the terminal as an administrator, connect to the administrator user and try to install all the softwares. Right? So that is all for today's session. So just try to do this for today. Just try to understand, install and get the environment ready. And once the environment is ready, then create a new Java project, new package, and try to create a new class and just try to play with them. Okay, just create multiple classes and see how they are executing and how we are able to see the output in the console window, and try to change something in this print statements. Okay, and then try to execute and see the output. So explore these things. First, you get familiar with these things because you do a lot of mistakes as a beginner. Okay, so you do a lot of mistakes and try to figure out what the mistakes you have done and rectify them. And also Eclipse will give you clear intimation, clear notification if you do some mistake. So correct it and then you will able to run it. And try to put the curly braces correctly. Okay, whenever you open the curly brace, it should end here. And here the main method curly brace, it should end here. Okay, only the statements should have semicolon. Main method and public class, these class and main method should not have any semicolons. So just get familiar with these basic stuff. And from tomorrow, we'll continue the further concepts. Okay. All right. So that's all for today's session. I will stop here. Rest of the topics we will discuss in the next session.